welcome back to Yubi I'm Yubi, and today I brought a video to inform you guys and to share with you guys my own presets. I've had many presets that I create for every single photo shoot for the past years and years, but finally I have created them on my website on sale for you guys to take them and apply to your own photos for aesthetic and special looks. And in this video, I will be sharing how to apply those presets on your photos through Lightroom on your iPad, and I would like to share with you. So this preset, specially called Camellia, is a preset that I've created for my self-portrait series that I did last year, or almost 2 years ago. And this photo shoot was done in a very sunlit, warm, golden time in my bedroom that I used to live in Alabama. And because of that, it has a sense of airy, warm, and very feminine palette into it. There are 3 presets total in this collection, and they're just named 1, 2, 3, but 3 of them have slight little different color changes, and you could choose them according to your look or your subject matter. So firstly, I wanted to show you how I apply on my Lightroom, on my iPad, on my photos. So as you can see, I have some photos that I've selected, and I wanted to show as much variables or many different subject matters as possible, even though I do have very repeating subject matters. I am going to choose this photo with my photo shoot with Hanbok that I did last year. And before I move on to my presets, I'm externally going to tap on a little bit on the light to give a little bit of contrast maybe, and also the exposure so it's bright enough for the subject to be viewed. And I like to kind of turn down the highlights a little bit because I like the darks getting dark, but I don't like the whites being too bright because it kind of hurts my eyes, and I think too much contrast kind of takes away the focus of subject matter in the photograph. So I'm going to turn down the highlights here, and I'm just going to leave everything however as it is. And I have downloaded my presets on here on my user presets if you tap on this circular button. And I have 3 presets here as I have explained. I have Camellia 1, I have Camellia 2, and I have Camellia 3. But in this particular image, I am going to choose Camellia 3 because Camellia 3 has the most pink and warm tone in it out of the 3. And after I apply, I'm actually just gonna go back, okay? And after I go back, I'm trying to see how to, and I'm going to make that amount a little bit less than 100, maybe 70%. And after that, I think I'm going to tap on a little bit of color because I think I want to add that yellow warmth tone. And as you see, the Camellia tones have a bit of redness or pinkness on that darker curve, on the darker side, to kind of mimic that film quality. And I'm actually going to give a little bit of pink tint to that. And I'm going to add vibrance up to really enhance that color and warmth of it. So this is the application of Camellia 3, and as to mention again, Camellia 3 has the most red or yellow warmth in it. So if you have an image that you really want to enhance that warmth, or a photograph that might be having a sunlight onto the subject matter, I would really recommend Camellia 3. So next I'm going to apply Camellia 2. I believe Camellia 2 has the most greenness into it. And I've brought this image because this image had less light source compared to the other ones because it was took inside of the building. And just as before, I'm going to add a little bit of exposure. I like it to be bright but not too contrasty, so I'm going to turn down the highlights as well. As far as it's bright enough for my eyes, and I'm actually going to turn up the blacks too, because I like when the blacks get a little lighter, it kind of gives that airy look. And I'm going to move on to my Camellia 2 this time, and this is Camellia 2. As you see, Camellia 3 has that pink tone, but Camellia 2 has that green tone, and I'm going to apply that green tone of Camellia 2. I think the greenness kind of adds that freshness, or almost a forest or like sacred garden look. I take green a lot in my color palette, even in photography, because I think it represents nature and beauty of that. So I'm going to apply that, and I'm going to go back to color as usual, and I'm actually going to pull up a little bit more of warmth, and I want to enhance that green. So I'm going to really put that tint green a little bit more and enhance the whole color palette more. So I'm going to bring that vibrance. So vibrance is a bit more subtle than saturation, even though it's the same concept of making the colors more vivid, but vibrance is a bit more subtle and it doesn't change that much of a skin tone. So I turned up the vibrance a little bit more, and actually I'm going to turn down a little bit of yellowness so the green turns out more. And I actually want to go to color grading, and I'm going to tap on a little bit of my shadow. If you see the shadows over here, I'm going to add a little bit more of blue into my shadows, just slightly. So I could add, because around this curtain area there's that yellow green tone, but I want the shadows to have a little blue, so there's like cold and warm temperature imbalance. So this was my Camellia number 2 application, and next I would like to show my Camellia number 1. And Camellia number 1 had the most yellow tone in it, so I'm going to look at a photo that might have a little bit of yellow tone already in the photo, and I'm going to select this portrait of myself that has a lot of yellow flowers in it. Just as before, I'm going to correct the exposure, which I usually have it brighter than normal because I like bright, airy photos, and I'm going to turn down the highlights. And I like the shadows here, but maybe why not a little brighter to make it a little bit more clear. And after that, I'm going to select Camellia 1. Okay, Camellia 1 has the most yellow, and this, even because it kind of emphasizes the yellow a lot, it does take away a lot of yellow from the skin tones, but I like that kind of faded away kind of vintage skin tone too. So I'm going to leave it as it is, but just a little tone down like this. And I love how the green is almost like vivid, but I'm going to actually turn down that green a little bit less. There's green, and what I'm going to do, when I select color mix, you can each individual color, you can set individual colors and turn in different hues. So hues is kind of like in different color meters. So is the green going to be a little bit more yellow or a little bit more blue? That's this side. It's going to be a little bit more green on the right side. But I think I like a little bit more yellow, and I'm going to make the saturation down, meaning it's not too vivid. And I'm going to go to yellow, and I see the saturation's a little bit of less, but I'm going to pull it up just a little bit because the flowers are yellow and it'd be great if it's a bit more yellow than what it is. And this is the edit of the Camellia number 1. I hope this video is helpful for you to apply your photos with my presets. Thank you again for trying out my presets and always supporting my artworks. I hope this presets will give you another level or another aesthetic of your artwork. And thank you for visiting my studio, and see you in my next vlog. Bye!